Just going to invite a few people. It's funny, some of these people I invite and they tell me that the invitation does not go through. Mark Dixon is one of them. For some strange reason, he can't join. You want to come on there, Dan? You just sent a request. Hang on. I'll bring Dan. Just requested to join, so we'll see if he wants to come on. Anyways, until we find out if Dan is actually going to come on or not, just a few things we want to touch on. I wanted to touch on. One of them is the Yellow Vest event. Man, it's gaining traction across Canada, especially in the West. The West is really awake compared to the East. We live in Real Trudel was telling me that he was alone basically yesterday in Sudbury. We took off, C3 members, we took off, Sudbury members. We went to North Bay and we endorsed the North Bay Yellow Vest. We thought we'd go over there and give them a hand, see if we can wake up, shake up North Bay a little bit. Met the Yellow Vest organizer out there, Alexander, pretty good kid, good guy, knows what he's talking about. His heart's in the right place. He's leading the charge in North Bay for the Yellow Vest, and he's endorsed by Randy and Angela, our C3 members in North Bay area. Randy's our captain, actually, and while we're talking about Randy, I want to thank him for this nice little pin here, support our troops, that Randy and Andrea gave me. Awesome thing. Our page is doing phenomenal. I don't know if you've noticed, we're at over 3,900 members now. We actually grew almost 400 members just in the last 6 weeks. And the reason people tell me is they want to see the truth. They want to hear the truth. They like what's posted on our page, and they're happy to be part of it and get the information. So I noticed James Williams is watching. James Williams is our new president for Nova Scotia. So we now have a chapter in Nova Scotia, and James Williams, he commented there, he said ditto, excuse me, he said ditto. That's his Facebook profile picture. Tap on that and make friends with James. And if you're in the Nova Scotia province, please join James in becoming a C3 member. So James is going to be looking for vice president, some guardsmen, sergeant at arms. He's going to be looking for, there's a position there for quite a few leaders, and then we make captains in cities. So if you're in a city in Nova Scotia, you can even be captain of that city. So James is going to be leading the show out there, James Williams for Nova Scotia. Reach out to James, especially if you're in the Nova Scotia area and you're interested in joining C3. As we announced a few weeks ago, Diana Bessette is leading the chapter in New Brunswick. She's doing an awesome job, very active woman, juggling grandkids, kids. She's busy girl. Her poor grandchild, unfortunately, through birth, broke an arm. My God, when I heard that, my heart was just crushed. That poor baby being born and breaking an arm through birth. Can't help but question our medical system if people that are in there are qualified half the time. It's a shame when something like that happens. That poor child had to suffer through a broken arm being born. I mean, how'd you like that? Come into the world, that's how you come in, with a busted arm. The doctor breaks your arm. So my heart goes out to Diana. You're a brave woman. Hang in there. Take care of that little one. All the hugs and kisses from me and my friends. Anybody I told this story to was, oh my God, an infant being born and breaking the infant's arm. during birth. And I'll tell you something. She sent me pictures of the x-ray. It's not just like a little fracture. The kid's arm's busted in like 3 places. It's just heart-wrenching. Anyways, so James Williams for the Nova Scotia chapter and Diana Bissett for the New Brunswick chapter. Those are your leaders out there. They need help. They need more leaders. They need members. So even if you just want to be in the member capacity, you reach out to them and they will fix you up and put you on the Patriot bandwagon. You know, be part of the visible opposition. So I want to caution a few people posting stuff on our page. You know what? Facebook watches us like hawks. We're lucky to even still have a page up. Proud Boys page, JDL page, many group pages have been taken down. So there's a lot of stuff out there I'd love to approve. I understand how you feel. I know there's a lot of anger out there. I get really angry myself. But you know what? I can't approve anything that looks like you're pointing the finger and hating somebody in particular, or if you're trying to promote violence in any way, you know, pick up arms, let's go to battle, stuff like that. We can't approve that stuff. If we do, our page will be taken down. Then all this valuable information that we're sharing and many people are appreciating will be gone. So, you know, I just got to caution people when you post on our page, if it looks like a hate thing, if it looks like, I mean, you know, you're allowed to hate Trudeau, but you can't say you want to kill him. You can't say you want him to die. You know, listen, let's just vote the bastard out. That's what I say. So, you know, if it promotes any kind of hate or violence, I can't approve it. It is what it is. We live in a world where free speech has basically been taken away, and Facebook has no free speech. We all know that. It's not a big secret. Facebook will not allow many things, and many things they do allow, they shouldn't. Many things they should allow, they don't. So I don't know who's running the show out there, but, you know, brush up on your job, I'd say. So enough criticism on Facebook. Another thing, people, you know, sometimes comment, geez, that guy's pretty abrasive, that guy's pretty vulgar, that, you know what? Abrasive and vulgar people could be good people. Good people break bad laws. I mean, it is what it is. If there's somebody out there you find too vulgar, don't listen to him. If he's doing videos as a C3 member and you find that guy's vulgar, don't watch him. It's simple as that. You know what? Vulgarity, you know, political correctness, these are all things that are being very manipulated in this day and age. And what you consider vulgar, another person may not. It is what it is. So, you know, I'm not going to start quelling members because they're swearing or being vulgar on Facebook. If that's their personality, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, if I've approved those people to be C3 members, I've overlooked their abrasive personalities and I've overlooked their vulgarity and I've looked into their hearts. And that's how I approve people. If I see you have true Canadian values, if I see you believe in Canadians first, and you are for the progress of Canada as a prosperous country, and a multicultural country, let's face it, we are what we are, and nothing wrong with immigration. We should just be watching who we let into our country, and we can't let in everybody of the same ideology into the country because that'll change our ideologies. To me, it's a given. They say we're multicultural, well then our immigration should be multicultural. We shouldn't just be importing people from the Middle East, so to say. What's the matter with these South Africans? Let's let some of them in. You know, there's people from France and England and Germany having a hard time to get into Canada. But if you know what I tell them, you just walk across the border, I guess, because that's the way most people are getting into Canada lately. Matter of fact, we got the RCMP there, carry your bags. They'll put you up in a nice hotel. They'll give you a paycheck. I mean, I don't know why anybody's even trying to go through Canadian immigration the proper way when Trudeau's basically opened our borders, you know. I don't know why there's border control. I don't get it. It's there's border control. You got to be careful. Can't bring in a pack of cigarettes, you know. But I'll tell you, if you want to bring in you and your family and all your luggage and move here, that doesn't seem to be a problem. You know? So let's be tolerant of some maybe vulgar members, some maybe abrasive members, or patriots. It doesn't just have to be C3 members. There's a lot of people out there, very abrasive, very vulgar, but damn good people. They got their hearts in the right place, and I endorse them. And I really don't care how good their grammar is, or you know, whether they're a vulgar person or not. You know, some of these vulgar people get things done. So Cameron Schrag, he's got the West rocking. Okay, we had Win Nay doing the Alberta chapter. He was a leader for the Alberta chapter. Found us to be a little too much of a political group. He's more of a street type leader, an activist that likes to help the poor and the people in his immediate community, which he was able to do through C3. But you know, we got a real strong political aspect to us, and that wasn't of his liking. So we strongly endorse what Win Nay is doing. We strongly promote everything Win Nay is doing. But Cameron Schrag has taken over the Alberta chapter. I was hoping to get Cameron on today video. He's gone AWOL on me. Obviously, he's probably got a good reason, because he had planned to be on video. Or, you know what, we got some members, I tell them, come on video, and last minute they said, you know what, I just couldn't do it. It's not for everybody to come on camera and expose yourself, you know, to say what we say. I know how people look at me on the streets. I have people that walk up to me and shake my hand, especially since they saw my interview with CTV. And I've got people that are now looking at me funny. So, you know what? I don't care. I got big shoulders. I'm not afraid to say what I say. I'm going to keep saying it. You know, I'm not afraid to put my face for C3, because the fact of the matter is, since I've taken over the leadership, C3 is doing very well. We're across Canada and around the world, and members are participating in numerous things. This weekend, you know, we stood in North Bay, and we had Réal Trudel, you know, he lives in Sudbury. Réal Trudel stood in Sudbury alone, okay, wearing yellow vest. A real trooper, a true patriot. I'm proud to have him as a C3 member. He said, you know what, I'm not going to North Bay. I'm going to stay behind in Sudbury. And he says, even if I got to be alone, I'm going to represent C3 in Sudbury, and I'm going to stand on the corner with my yellow vest on with my sign in Sudbury. And he did. He froze his butt off. We froze our butts off. You know, you want to say a guy's not a good patriot? That's a patriot. He stood here alone, and he represented C3. We've had great representation of C3 across Canada. Diana's been doing her thing in New Brunswick. You know, now we've got the Nova Scotia going. James probably gets some stuff going on there. Troy Rubia is the guy you reach out to if you're in Newfoundland, or if you're in Labrador. He's the man out there. He's our C3 leader. We've got a new C3 leader in British Columbia also, and that's Barry Prince. Many people know Barry Prince, radio host, awesome patriot. I mean, you know what, C3, we're just lucky. We seem to be picking up the cream of the crop. You know, the C3 members across Canada, all the ones I've met, some that I haven't met, I'll tell you, I'm really proud to be part of this group. Awesome, awesome patriots, standing up for those of you that can't, and for those of you that just can't make it, whether it's geography or finances. We understand. So we've taken it upon ourselves, C3, to represent those that can't be part of these movements. So C3's been representing C3 at many yellow vest movements across Canada. Lloydminster, Ricky Wright there in Alberta, he's doing an awesome job out there. I see Mark West is watching. He's a captain out there. You know, these guys, you know, you got to remember, Mark West, he's in Hinton. Yeah, he's the Hinton, Alberta captain, okay? Mark West. These guys donate their time, and their energy for free. Nobody gets paid in C3. This is a total volunteer group, and it's a no pressure group. We've got many, many members that can't be, they've got t-shirts and everything, full members, but they can't be as active as some of us are. And you know what? We don't push them. This is a fully, it's a volunteer group. So you can't make it, you don't make it. If you can make it, you do. If you can represent C3 anywhere, at any town meeting, or when you're out there grocery shopping, wear your shirt, represent C3, because fact is we're growing and we want to keep growing. I'd like to see C3 as one of the biggest groups in Canada. We are going to attain that at this rate. And once we're really big, well, you know what? When we get out at rallies and stuff, it'll count. It'll matter. We'll get noticed, and maybe we can bring change. C3 is part of the visible opposition to this government. That's what we stand for. We don't like what this government's doing, and we oppose many things. Carbon tax, illegal refugees, open borders, mass immigration, signing the UN compact. I mean, the list goes on and on. Trudeau, the groper, to state another one of his offenses, has broken federal law. One of the first prime ministers in history to break federal law, but the pompous but still out there laughing and smiling, and in my opinion, provoking Canadians. It's like he's pushing all our buttons to see just how far he can push Canadians before we stand up. Well, you know what? That truck rodeo that's going to Ottawa, we're going to be part of it. I'm going to jump in my truck. I'm joining the caravan when it comes through, the convoy rather. Let's not call it the caravan. That's Jesus Christ. If I say that, people think we're part of the caravan coming up from South America, attacking the U.S. It's unreal. Got to dot our I's and cross our T's. No, we're joining the convoy going to Ottawa. I'm joining it. A few other members are jumping in the truck with me. Other members may take their vehicles. But that's being part of the visible opposition. Once the government and media sees, without a doubt, and they can't hide it, that Canadians are uniting and standing up, and we want a referendum, and that's the thing, people. I know that there's a lot of issues out there, but we want to bring the people's referendum into action. We want to change laws in Canada and change government. And the only way of doing that is bringing a people's referendum by the people, for the people. And if we can bring a new referendum into play, then government and everything has to listen to us. They work for us like they're supposed to. And we can actually bring all these changes that we want, the pipeline and, close our borders and what have you. So it's baby steps. It's one step at a time. If we can get this referendum into action, if we can all stand together and say, we're opposing this government. We don't even recognize this government, because fact is they're not even a real government. Once we all stand together and we do that, well, they can't put us all in jail. They can't force us all to keep doing the wrong thing. They can't. Look on the streets and look how many of us there are out there. 34 million of us. If half of that stood up and marched on Parliament Hill and we said, "You, sir, are fired. Mr. Trudeau, you're fired. Get out of office." And if we brought in a referendum by the people, for the people, things that we want, like the pipeline, then you wouldn't have to worry about this issue of Alberta wanting to separate. I don't like the idea of Alberta separating. Fact is, though, I can't blame them for wanting to. They've been robbed all this time. So, it's time for the provinces to reap their just rewards. It's time for federal government to be fair to the provinces. If they were, there wouldn't be no division talk. They want to leave Canada. And you can't blame them. Well, let's fix the government, and then we can address the provinces, and maybe we can even put Canadians first for once. Our veterans, our military, our elderly. These pensions, what a joke. CPP and old age pension. What a joke. These people work 30 years of their lives for the economy of this country, and you pay them peanuts that they can't even live on? We have to bring change to Canada. So join the Yellow Vest movement. Make yourself part of the visible opposition, and maybe we can bring change. And Cameron, buddy, I'm sorry we couldn't bring you on. I'm sorry, obviously something happened at your end that you couldn't join in. But we're promoting C3 Alberta. There's like 10 of them out there already. Active members. They're showing up at rallies. They actually had enough guys there Saturday that supposedly they were going to attend 2 separate events representing their opposition to the government, representing their support to the Yellow Vests, and showing promotion for C3. So that's pretty good. When a group is big enough that we can start attending multiple events, and you know what? After a while, when everybody sees this and everybody sees that C3 and they see that, holy geez, these guys are growing, they're growing, we will become a relevant part of this movement. We already are, probably one of the more relevant, more active groups in Canada. We support all the other groups out there, but, fact is we're out there. We're visible out there. Alberta, I got to say, Wolves of Odin doing an awesome job out there. I've got to say that the 3%ers out there are doing great work as well. There's, the Boar. The groups are united. The groups do work together, and we need each other's support if we're to promote our narrative, and that's to bring a new government to this country. So I'm sorry that Cameron wasn't able to come part of the video. Maybe we'll be able to get him on later on this week, because that's the man you want to reach out to. If you're in Alberta and you want to be a C3 member, you want to be a captain like Ricky Wright, he's captain out in Lloydminster. You want to get, Mr. West, he's a captain out in Hinton. So these are the guys you reach out to if you want to join C3 in those areas. We're growing, we're going to get bigger, and we will bring positive change to Canada. Read our mission statement. It clearly states what we're all about. We're a multicultural group, so I laugh when they call us bigots and Nazis, because we've got Muslims in this group. People that are totally Canadian supporters, live by our way of life, love Canada, and we love them back. It is what it is. Not everybody's bad. Not everyone, I hate when people say all the Muslims are bad, and even the moderate ones. No, bullshit. I've met some, I know some, and they're not bad. There's some people that have actually come here to this country because they want our way of life, They've come to this country because they want to live the way we live, because they've seen the way we live, and they actually, the Muslim friends that I have out here, they've got jobs, they work, they pay taxes, they're very respectful to their women. Tell me, that is not what we're led to believe. Yes, there are extremists. There are extreme Islamists. There are extreme Muslims. And yes, we should fear them. And yes, we should keep them on guard. And yes, these are the people that should be stopped at our borders. So, let's not paint everybody with the same brush. There's good and bad and everything. I know some Anglo-Saxon white guys, most evil men you've ever met in your entire life. I know one in Alberta. I won't name him, but I'll tell you, a bad guy. I don't care what anybody says. He's backtracking now, but he's still a bad guy. I think he's just backtracking because, we're coming out there. That's another thing. At the end of March, C3 East, a few of us are jumping in the truck, and we're going out west. We're going to Edmonton, and I'm going to go shake hands to all these fine C3 patriots in Alberta. We're going to have a huge meet and greet. I think we're going to go the 29th, 30th, and 31st of March. We're going to meet up with Win Nay and the Boar, and going to go support the event that they're promoting on those 3 days. So look for us in Alberta. We're going to be out there. I'm pretty sure Dan Unruh's coming. I know Rob Ferris is coming. And while I talk about Rob Ferris, he brought up something tonight, very interesting. June 7th to 9th at the International Centre in Toronto, the Liberals are having their annual meeting. Think about that. So he brought this to my attention, Rob Ferris. He saw this on Facebook or wherever. But this is an annual meeting that the Liberals all get together at the International Centre. Wouldn't it be wonderful if hundreds of patriots and groups all got together and we all went out there and stood at the front door and let them damn Liberals know what we think of them? Wouldn't that be nice? So let's keep that in mind. June 7th to 9th, the annual Liberal meeting at the International Centre. Maybe this is something Ed Jamnisik wants to take on. He's a C3 captain in Toronto. Maybe Ed, you want to, maybe we'll host something. Maybe let's get all the groups out there and get all the patriots out there in Toronto to show up at this annual meeting at the International Centre. I know there's room for all of us. So anyways, with that said, have a great evening, Patriots. I hope that you keep up the great work that you're doing. I got to commend all the guys that are joining in the Yellow Vest. Man, the West is awake. I wish the East was just as awake. I think we'd bring change right away. So love yous all, Patriots. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you again. Take care.